What's up, y'all? Me, Kasinal and we have a 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend Edition. Total MSRP for this specific Bronco comes out to $33,385 even. Powering this Ford product is a 1.5 liter Ecoboost turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. Yes, I am serious, it is a 3-cylinder engine. It produces 181 horsepower, 190 pound-feet of torque, and does have 4x4 capabilities. And if you're wondering about the gas mileage, 25 city, 30 highway, combined 28 miles per gallon. And it takes 87 octane. Back to the engine, it's also paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. And like I said, it is standard 4-wheel drive, however it can be rear-wheel drive as well when not using certain modes. So the Ford 1.5 liter Ecoboost engine, aka the Dragon engine, I'm serious. They first introduced this around 2017-2018. It features cylinder deactivation, which apparently is the first 3-cylinder to do so, dual fuel injection, all for efficiency, and it's an all-aluminum block. They use this in the Ford Escape, Bronco Sport, Fiesta ST, and the Focus. And when I said the Focus, I'm talking about the 4th gen Focus, which we never got here. The Dragon engine is an updated iteration of the 1.0 liter Fox engine, which was introduced by Ford back in 2012. It is of course part of the Ecoboost family, and it is notable for its efficiency as well as its advanced engineering for small engines, though it did have some problems, specifically with the wet timing belt degrading and slipping. However, there were later revisions that addressed those durability concerns. Now, as for the reliability issues for the Dragon engine, there's been reports of engine block cracking, carbon buildup, knocking, or even loss of pressure. Though Ford has implemented fixes for several issues, even more than what I listed. Even then, just be cautious. Look out for whatever issues people are talking about when it comes to this product, or any product in general. So, why did I pick this car in general? Well, still have money to spend on Turo, and I've never been in a Bronco. Want to do some horse stuff as well. I know there is the super lesbian horse game that I'm going to be playing. I probably already played it, but as of now, as of recording, I haven't played it yet. But we do have the Bronco, which is horse related, Year of the Horse. And I didn't know there was a Big Bend edition, though. No, I'm kind of liking it. It is a 2025, so fairly new. Same model year as the Toyota RAV4 LE that we have. Though there's already some controls that are not really going up well, but that could be because of, major use from Turo, though I don't know how many trips this car is already, though like I said, some controls are already feeling flimsy, so there's that. So visibility, it's a bit better than what I had in the Fiat 500 with those regular A-pillars as well as the thinner A-pillars. Of course, we don't have it here, as you can kind of see from the meta if you are looking through it, or if I do remember to use it. There's also a vent on the vents in general for the pillars, so that's cool. Throttle response, pretty nice. Of course, like I said, newer vehicle. Braking feels a bit heavier. Oh my god. Homeboy got a little too close. Anyways, braking doesn't require a little bit more effort than usual, even in something like the RAV4. Steering though is pretty nice. A lot better than in the Fiat, I can tell you for sure. Let me put the bottle here. Alright, let's see if I can do some acceleration. Here's a green. Very nice. 53 miles per hour, okay. Hell yeah. And I can definitely hear a turbo. Man, I mean, I guess that's like the modern age. They usually do it to improve fuel economy and stuff, so there's that. Man, I'm pretty sure I already said it, but the steering also feels very nice. I can definitely feel where the hell I'm going. Though I'd also feel little bumps back there, but I don't think I filmed that. Alright, with that being said, let's take a look at the interior. And we're going to start off with the driver's side door, specifically with the door latch. Here it is, the latch itself as well as the lock, general car lock controls too, window lock, mirror controls for adjustment, selection, even the window switches. Here are the driver's side vents, one by the side of the instrument cluster and one on the pillar. Moving on to the steering wheel. On the left side, we have cruise control, volume audio, as well as various safety features like adaptive cruise control and distance settings. Then on the right side of the steering wheel, we have the controls for the central touchpad, phone voice controls, all very lovely, blinkers and windshield wiper controls, and finally onto the instrument cluster. All digital, you know how I feel about that. Nonetheless, on the left side we have the RPM meter, right side the speedometer. There's also other information on there like the engine temperature, fuel gauge, miles per gallon, gears, odometer, other stuff like that. Even the music that you're listening to, or at the very least the source of where you're listening to. If you switch modes during driving, this is also where you can see it deviate, but I'll get into that once we get to the mode selector. To the central console we go, or should I say the central tablet. This is of course where the infotainment system is, maps, temperature control, defogger, and a lot more. They're all buttons on a screen, not physical buttons, which absolutely sucks. Other than that, it doesn't lag, it's fine, the responsiveness is pretty nice. I just wish that some of the buttons on the bottom of the screen were actual buttons or somewhere else in the central console. Below that we have the central vents, and just right under that we actually have some physical buttons, that being the engine start stop, deactivating or activating the auto start or stop, hazards, traction control, turn off the central screen, change the clock, and the final button is to open the front camera. Yeah, that is actually interesting. Then we have a power button as well as a dial to control the radio/volume. Passenger airbag notification just on top of that. And then finally at the bottom we have our central console tray area. On the left corner we have our cigarette lighter ports, and to the right of that we have a USB-A port as well as a USB-C port. Very nice options. And the empty space in front of the ports is just a little tray area. It carries small items, not really much can be put here. And then just to the right of that, we have the wireless charging port. However, I forgot to use it, so I don't have footage of me using it. Big sad. Then we have our rotary gear selector and the center console. It also is a very weird design in my opinion. But there you go, park, reverse, neutral drive, even low gear. At least for the cup holders, there's two different sizes, a big jug size and the regular standard size. Then we have the parking brake as well as the brake hold. Right by where I sit, we have the G.O.A.T modes, in the form of a dial in which we can switch between 5 different modes like I said earlier. The one I've been using the most, normal, slippery, eco, sport, then off-road. That's a good amount of variety. I also do like the screen changing according to which mode you're in. Something pretty minor, but I do like the attention to detail, at least with this. Finally, wrapping up the center, we have the center console. Very nice, very deep. You know what? It's serviceable. God bless. On the front passenger side, we do have some Bronco branding, which I do like. And then we of course have the glove box with some warning label that's still attached to it. And to my surprise, there's actually some items in there. Namely what look like the bill, as well as the Monroney label. More than likely what you know it as, the window sticker. Yes, it was just in there. I might as well do a small PSA. If you're gonna leave some shit, make it be items that people can't really use to get information out of you. With this, they can get your VIN number. Come on. Alright, let's continue. Of course, the front passenger side also has their own vents. On the front passenger door, they have the same lock unlock, latch, as well as the controls for there's a perspective window, a little space that they can grab to shut the door, as well as some space for miscellaneous items or even a water bottle. And I thought I was done, but apparently there's an accessory tray just behind the infotainment screen, which is pretty nice. You can put smartphones here, cameras, GoPros, whatever. There's even bolts there too. And not only that, there's 2 USB-C ports. Can't go wrong with that, man. With that being said, let us take a look at the rear cabin. So, here we are in the rear of the cabin of the Bronco Big Bend. And yeah, I mean, pretty nice. There's some mixture of synthetic and... Actually, no, I think they're the same fabrics, just different colors. Pretty comfortable. We at least do have some cup holders here, so that's very cool. Very very much lovely. Got some paint stains here though, which I haven't seen, but you know, whatever. And we also do have some vents here. 2 vents that you can move side to side, up and down. Even control the flow of too. And we also have a charging point, 2 charging points. I think USB-C ports, if I'm correct. 2 of them, like I said. And of course, well, actually not really pockets, but it's like little straps, like, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 rows of 6 on both sides, which is interesting, but I don't know how to feel about that. Other than that, rubberized mats down here, and regular power controls and door latches, of course, and lock stuff to put your stuff in, kind of like in the front passenger seat. And on top there's a light which you cannot turn on or off unless you have a door open, I'm guessing, because when I tried to press it, nothing happened. Yeah, I guess we'll head to the rear cabin. Alright, check out the key fob here. Here's the buttons, very nice. Right, so the light should be on the right side. And there's some, that's how it is. Some place to put whatever. Got lights with Bronco branding, you don't really see that. Got some volt thing here, or at least some cigarette lighter plug. I'm guessing you can like put hangers here, or at least put a sling tie to hold down whatever you want down here. Same on this side. Except there's, oh shit, there's lights. Yeah, nice. Hell yeah, I like that. No lounging area, but kind of weird here. Yeah, you can put these down. Yeah. And then same on this side. Okay, it's being cut, but just imagine that this is down. Actually, you know what? Okay, I think there's something there, so whatever. Just imagine. And yeah, pretty nice. There you go. I'll just put that there. Okay. You have to bring the seats to the side. Or at least, I mean, you have to bring the seatbelt to the side to actually have it latch. There's also this, but I don't know. Like I said, just some compartment to put stuff in. So yeah, there's that. And boom. Very cool. However, if you want to, you can also open it from here. I mean, it didn't open, but it's unlocked. Just lift it up. Alright, there you go. And there you go. Alright, this is all pretty cool. I do like the layout. Everything feels nice, not too far from my fingers. Like I said earlier, I do wish the buttons that were on the bottom of the touchscreen were actually physical buttons that are at the least in the bottom of said screen. You know what I'm talking about, like physical buttons right underneath the screen that are not on the screen. All confusing, but at least the tablet itself is responsive for now. Over time, the screen will slow down, chug. Hell, some of the Teslas now are starting to degrade like that. Maybe in the future there'll be other aftermarket tablets that will replace this. How easy would it be to get? I'm not from the future. I did like the GO.A.T modes. I did play with normal, eco, sports. Not really slippery. I did use it for a little bit, but I never rained in my location. Not only that, I couldn't use off-road mode since, you know, I have nowhere to go that is off-road, so I think to use it. The seats are comfortable themselves. My hands didn't ache after using the wheel. And like I said, visibility is pretty nice. I also do like the details of the vents on the A-pillar, so there's that. I also do like how it looks aesthetically, especially with the color. Being a dark green, specifically eruption green metallic. Ain't that fancy. I kinda like how it looks now, but it's kinda missing the off-road tires. As it is now, it just kinda looks like the Ford Expeditions, at least the first gens. Also, what other car, vehicle, brand has a hood release that you have to press up twice for? Because this Bronco has it. I'm genuinely curious on why this is a thing. Maybe it's a security thing? I don't know. Also, another detail, there's a lot of Bronco branding throughout the car. It's like finding hidden Mickeys. Ford is really proud of this car, aren't they? Right, so with that being said, overall, what do I think about this 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend Edition? I mean, there's a lot of editions that you can go with the Bronco. So far, even if it was just a standard edition, I think I would still take it if I had the money. Do I want to take it? Probably not. I mean, it's a Ford product, not the best reputation, let's just say, in terms of reliability, but hey, yo, it's something. I mean, the window switches, they're already not really working that much, or at least going down doesn't work. Going the other directions are fine, but they still feel flimsy. The steering is pretty nice. I can actually feel where the hell I'm going. Preppy gas pedal, takes a light touch to accelerate. The turbo, pretty nice. I do like the sounds of it too. The gas, or the brake pedal I should say, being a little bit more weighty, more stubborn. I mean, I don't know how to feel about that, though. I did get used to it eventually. The space that I feel around here, pretty nice. I can see everything correctly. The windows, pretty lovely as well. And the cabin, I mean, eventually one of these days I probably will be getting a SUV or some type of van, something to hold a lot of items, you know, big items. And yeah, I also do really like the color of it. It's probably not going to be a car that'll last that long. Hopefully it will be for this owner, but in general, I'll probably still take the Toyota, though, and at least in terms of reliability. Here, if I had the money, maybe, yeah. Though, it is a hefty price. The economy is what it is right now. Might as well buy a used one, though. I can go on about the economy, and I'm only like, what, 25? My life's barely started. Somewhat. I think that's fine though. For what it is, hey yo, it's a comfy ride. It's standard, pretty alright. So, that's basically all I have to say. Nothing really outstanding, not underwhelming. It just is there. It serves its purpose. What more can I say other than hopefully it becomes cheaper? So, that being said, I'm gonna end off here. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like, love this video, and I shall see you in a video, episode, whatever you watch next. Is Cham Man. Peace out.